Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal Captain Gear 100 has returned yet again for another video for you guys today. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. Work has been on my ass. It's been kicking my ass. All right, I'm tired and I've been asleep. So this is my first time in a while I've gotten an actual break because working for almost a month straight has really gotten to me. Okay, but we're back with another Dragon Ball Z What If, and I'm here to correct this one. What if Goku was half Kryptonian? So, okay, I know I made this series before, but I kind of took it too far with everything, and I didn't really focus on the Kryptonian side. But you know what? We're going to focus solely on just Kryptonian side Goku. It'll still be a very interesting story, but I still hope you guys do like it. Also, this will be a harem story, so if you don't like harems, you guys might as well get out. But still, let's just do this, all right? You guys probably don't want to hear the intro or the outro, but hey, all the habits die hard. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Cue the intro. Okay, so where would we begin upon this series? Well, it's quite simple. How would our main boy Kakarot or Goku become half Kryptonian? It would be, well, quite simple. Am I still going to make Goku as overpowered as I do in a lot of other what-ifs? Yes, I still am. Okay, so yeah. Bardock, descendant of Yamoshi, the first ever Super Saiyan God, aka the Super Saiyan as well. You know, so Bardock has that potential. But not only that, Bardock is going to give Bardock's other mate on the other side of a galaxy or something is going to give birth to something much more than that. But I'll get to that later. Bardock is sent on a mission. Now this is like a few years after Raditz, but months before, you know, the destruction of, well, a year and a half before the destruction of Planet Vegeta, because, you know, 9 months and all that. Okay, so yeah, just maybe 2 years, a year and a half or 2 years before the destruction of Planet Vegeta. So Bardock is sent on a mission halfway across the galaxy away from Planet Vegeta, so he's going to be away from home for a while. And he's sent to take over this planet called Planet Krypton. And as he does arrive on the planet, I mean, the Kryptonians, they're actually a very peaceful race. So when Bardock was just about to start taking over the race and everything, because, you know, obviously for the resources and all that, he found that these people are quite strange. And Bardock is a strange Saiyan altogether, because remember, he's not as ruthless or as brutal as other Saiyans would be. So as Bardock is just about to start his massacre mission and everything, because let's be honest, the Kryptonians have no defense against Bardock. They're literally regular humans, except maybe like a bit stronger. Because an average human has a power level of like, well, 1. But I'm going to give it to the Kryptonians and say their average power level is 1,000. So yeah, the average human is a power level like 1, 5, maybe 15. Mr. Satan, since he's a seasoned fighter, I guess he would be around 20, maybe. No, he's a martial artist. He's like in the hundreds. So there you guys go. But I'm gonna give these Kryptonians their things because they're surrounded by a red sun. I'm gonna give them 1,000. So Bardock could easily kill them, but at the same time, he doesn't think he would do that great of a job. He probably jumped the gun a bit by coming by himself. In his great ape form, he would do just fine. But by himself in his base form, well, he might actually have some trouble. Even though his power level is like around 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. 5,000 to 10,000. I'm going to say it's 10,000 because I really don't know. It might be 5,000, but I think it's around 10,000. Yeah, 10,000. So it's because the Kryptonians actually have very advanced technology and weapons. So because of that, things would be a lot more difficult for Bardock. Even in his base form, with the power level of 10,000, their weapons would actually do some damage to him. So he doesn't think doing the mission right away would be a good idea. So he's gonna play it really safe and wait for the full moon, or probably create a power ball. But so he stays there for a while, and you know, being courteous with the Kryptonians. And just as he's about to enact his his takeover plan, I'm gonna say a Kryptonian royalty. Yeah, screw it. He meets a Kryptonian princess or something like that. This is just a story. Just go along with it, please. And she takes an interest in Bardock. Just as he's about to start his mission, because it's nighttime right now, and he's waiting for the full moon to rise, and it's just about to rise. He was just sitting there and waiting for it. But the Kryptonian princess catches Bardock's attention. So as Bardock like turns around and everything and starts talking to her, he was honestly thinking about it, but he finds out that the Kryptonians could be a lot better if they actually got a relationship with the Saiyans instead of just slaughtering and massacring them. So instead, Bardock decides not to. He decides to stay here and study for a while. And you know what? He actually becomes somewhat of a hero. Because I'm going to say 1 month in staying with the Kryptonians, an alien race comes down and starts fighting the Kryptonians. And obviously their weapons can do something, but since they're not physically strong enough, they don't have their Kryptonian abilities, they can't really fight back too much. And this is when Bardock steps in and actually fighting back and doing something. You know what? Now, I'm underplaying Bardock. He's, the descendant of Yamoshi in the first Super Saiyan. So you know what? I'm going to give Bardock a decent power level. I'm going to say Bardock's power level is actually the highest in the Saiyan race. It's 100,000. Yeah. Yeah, it's 100,000. So, yeah, changing the things. Bardock could have slaughtered the Kryptonians if he wanted to, but he just decided not to just yet because he found them interesting and he wanted to see all their resources and everything they had to offer before going through with it. So there you guys go. Changing narrative, changing the story. So Bardock with the power level of 100,000 easily, and I mean easily, like defeats this alien race. Wouldn't even be hard. And oh, let me tell you now, Bardock is a high-ranking commander in the Frieza Force because he's stronger than Zarbon, Dodoria. He's on the level of like Ginyu Force people. But I think Captain Ginyu is a power level of yeah, Captain Ginyu, the Ginyu Force people would still be stronger than Bardock though. So Captain Ginyu would not steal Bardock's body, even though he would be pretty strong. So this would end up pushing Bardock for a while. Okay, hold on, let me think. I'm trying to get a moment here. Okay, so Bardock would stay there for like a month and a half, until like another alien race comes, and this is when Bardock, for the first time, because he's the direct descendant of the Super Saiyan God, you know, Bardock has a tiny bit of God Ki, but he hasn't had he's never trained it, so he doesn't know how to use it. But just regular high, and because he Super Saiyan God, aka and the Super Saiyan, Bardock achieved Super Saiyan for the first time, and with the power level of 100,000, this makes his power level around 10 million, if I'm not mistaken, or 100 million. Wait, give me 1 minute, guys. 5 million. My bad. Okay, whoops, I was stupid. So yeah, Bardock power level 100,000, and you multiply that by 50 because that's what the Super Saiyan multiplier is. It's times 50, which I severely hate. But what can you do? It's Bardock's power level is 5 million. But so Bardock, the Kryptonian princess right here, ends up falling for Bardock because of his power and everything. And you know, Bardock starts staying in the royal palace and all of that. But you know, Bardock was still being a Saiyan and someone with needs. He ends up, you know, doing the do with the Kryptonian princess. This, however, you know, leads to her being pregnant with Bardock's child and everything. And Bardock, upon realizing this, he's gonna he stays there for a while until the child is born, and this child has a very high power level from birth, off rip, just because of the high S cells and a very powerful race at that. Bardock, I mean, okay, Kakarot, the name of the child, because Bardock named him, or Kal-El, because, you know, at royal family, Kal-El, well, it's Kal-El, K-A and, you know, dash E-L, Kal-El. That Kakarot and Kal-El. It's actually really funny dynamic how that works. Saiyan name is Kakarot, Kryptonian name is Kal-El. So, okay, Kakarot in this state is born with the power level of, 1 million instead. Because of Bardock coming in a Saiyan pod, having a scouter and everything, the Kryptonians will capitalize on this new technology. And, seeing Bardock's spaceship, the scientists couldn't, not mess with it. Even though it's illegal for them to do space travel, this is new technology, and they would love to see it. So, upon seeing Bardock's spaceship and his scouter, immediately they would start, decoding and trying to replicate this. And since the Kryptonians are so high in technology, I'm going to say their scouters are, infinitely better, million millions, if not billions of times much better than the Saiyans and the Frieza Force, because their resources are much better and richer than this. So with that being said, this the Kryptonian level of Scouters are actually able to pick up power levels a lot higher. So it actually would be able to, if I had to suggest, the Kryptonian Scouters could actually scan like Buu Saga character levels of power. Yeah, it could scan Buu Saga levels. And keep in mind, we know people in the Buu Saga, they're like in the, like, what, billions, maybe trillions? I have no clue. It's weird how it goes. But with that being said, but also seeing all of Bardock's equipment and clothes and everything, they start capitalizing on that. Super stretchy clothes that can just fit you, because, you know, one size fits all. They stretch to accommodate their wearer. So it doesn't really matter on that state. So Kakarot is born, and, you know, I'm doing this because I can. Kakarot is the legendary Super Saiyan in this one. Yeah, I know I'm doing it again. Z-Broly, legendary Super Saiyan, power never stops growing, but he's also half Kryptonian. So that's just going to do a lot more crazy shit as time goes on. So that's the origin of Kakarot. And Bardock, you know, letting the Kryptonians replicate his his technology and everything, he ends up having to go back to planet Vegeta because he's being called back for a mission. And Bardock ended up saying that this mission was a bust. There was no important resources, just to protect the Kryptonian race. And he says goodbye to the Kryptonian princess because he has to leave. So Bardock takes off. Remember, he's a Saiyan father. Not like they care that much about their children, but Bardock still does end up caring. Okay, so that's what's going to happen here. And what happens on that next thing is that Kakarot grows up without Bardock for like just a little while. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get used to this stuff here. Because now Kakarot is growing up with the temper and biology of ever-evolving of Saiyans, but he's also growing up with the peaceful nature of Kryptonians. So I think this can mellow Goku out without him getting the head injury, if you know what I mean. So I think Goku will be just fine. But, you know, as Bardock, you know, has to go up against Frieza and everything else, because Bardock rarely has to go up, like, almost rarely has to go up against anyone who can actually challenge him in a fight, Bardock is still going to end up getting killed by Frieza. But here we go with a few months before Planet Vegeta's destruction. You know, on planet Cereal. Bardock is killing the Ceruleans and all of that, and Manito gonna wish Bardock back to planet Vegeta. But instead, just because, I'm gonna say that this dragon here can actually grant three wishes. Yeah, okay. This dragon here can actually grant 3 wishes. Oh yeah, because of that, this also means Raditz has the Super Saiyan God transformation, well, potentially a bit of God Ki, and, you know, a higher S cell count, because he's the direct descendant of the Super Saiyan God, you know, Bardock and Super Saiyan and all that. So, hey, it's pretty cool. Raditz has higher potential as well. So I'm going to say he's actually up in terms with, like, second to Vegeta in terms of power level. So they're actually high-ranking elite Saiyans and not, you know, low-class Saiyans. Gine would still be a low-class Saiyan, though, because, well, obviously she's not really that much of a fighter, but she was still in Bardock's squad. Okay, moving on. Just wanted to put that side note out there. So Raditz and Kakarot would actually be elite Saiyans in this one, but everyone thinks Bardock only has one son. Alright, here we go. But this dragon can grant 3 wishes, and Bardock's obvious wishes, well, number 1 would be he wishes that his 2 sons end up thriving and living. Even though, like, it seems like even in situations where they're supposed to die, they will always live and thrive. And the dragon grants this 1 wish. And Bardock believing that his second wish would be he wants his sons to be protected and wants them to even be stronger than him. So he wishes that they have the greatest potential in the universe, which we know is busted as hell because Kakarot on one side already does have the great potential. Because, you know, Dragon Ball Z Broly power is rising and it's always overflowing. He constantly gets stronger and stronger. But mix that with the power level of Frieza in this sense. So yeah, Kakarot is beyond busted, or KL Goku. I'm going to call him Goku because his name's going to get changed anyway. It doesn't matter. So the dragon makes that wish. And the third wish I don't know what to wish for. You know what? I'm gonna make them even more naturally gifted. He wishes for them to learn and adapt in fighting, to learn and adapt in fighting, and make them incredibly easy to train. The most naturally gifted Saiyans in history. And the dragon making all those wishes, which they are powerful wishes, and because they're children, the dragon can easily grant these wishes, and there's no catch to these wishes right now. So that's cool. The dragon disappears, and the Kakarot and Raditz here Raditz feels a bit strange, just a tiny bit strange. But you know what? We're not going to focus on that for now. We will cut back to Raditz's story upon what's going to happen, because I actually like Raditz, and I hate that people kill him off so quickly. But Kakarot is still a baby, so the changes do occur to him, but no one's really going to notice. And keep in mind, since Goku's half Kryptonian, and he's naturally gifted and with such high potential, it's going to be he's already OP and busted from the start, so this is going to be ridiculous. So, okay, Bardock versus Gas ends up going like super easily because Bardock just goes Super Saiyan. Even though he doesn't need to, but he wants to be really safe here. He goes Super Saiyan and kills Gas and the rest of the heaters. So, hey, there's no more heaters in this situation. And the Saiyans say that this mission was a success. But sadly, Granola's mom, Weasley, still dies. So it's just Granola and Manito. Even though Granola still grows up hating the Saiyans and whatnot, that is it's going to grow up hating the Saiyans. The Saiyans, he's going to meet it's going to be way too overboard. But don't worry about that. All right. One thing led to another. A few months later, Kakarot's a few months old. Raditz, off planet because of their wishes, because of Bardock's wish and everything. Since Bardock power level is 5 million, he could theoretically defeat Frieza in his first form. Because when it's time, Bardock goes Super Saiyan and heads out to Frieza. And Frieza, taking this seriously over the top, he goes into his final form and goes 100% off the bat. And even though Bardock has a little bit of God Ki, it's still sadly not enough to beat Frieza, because again, he doesn't know how to use it. So it's there, but Bardock just doesn't know how to use it to its full extent. He's using regular Ki. And since he's a regular Super Saiyan, and he still gets defeated by Frieza's super death ball attack. Apologize for that. So Frieza's giant death ball, and he still throws it down at Bardock, who still tries to stop it. And he's because of this, he can send one last transmission to the Kryptonian princess, because I'm gonna say Bardock's able to hold it off for a little while. Because in the moment, Bardock is just unlocked his God Ki, and he's able to hold it back for just a tiny bit. So he sends one last recording and transmission to the Kryptonian princess, telling her what's happening. He's not going to survive this. Make sure our son survives. He's the last hope of the Saiyan race. Yada, 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 all that. And he sends her video recording, because he presses a button on his scouter, and it's connected back to the palace, King Vegeta's palace and all that. Even though Bardock is stronger, it doesn't matter. So it's getting live recording from everything, and Bardock is telling him to, speaking to Kakarot directly. Even though he's a baby, he might not hear this. He tells Kakarot to live, not to destroy like the Saiyans are, but to live and protect. Succeed where he has failed, protect others, and revive the Saiyan race. He's a mixture between Saiyans and Kryptonians. Make sure they both thrive and live. And sadly, this is where Bardock perishes, because he stalled long enough. And Frieza, getting annoyed, threw another death ball, making it even bigger. And sadly, Bardock couldn't hold it off anymore. And this is when Bardock had perished. Now, Frieza, being overconfident, thinking he killed the Super Saiyan, is laughing his ass off, saying that he knew he was stronger than some stupid old legend. And everyone, seeing that Frieza killed the Super Saiyan, obviously bows before him. But the Kryptonian princess on the other side had gotten the transmission, and she cried because Bardock, just died. So now it's up to Kakarot what's going to happen now. Oh yeah, also Bardock sent one last transmission to Raditz, telling him that he has another brother named Kakarot. And because thankfully Kakarot's space pod is not, from the Saiyans, so Frieza wouldn't be able to track it, neither the Scouter. He sends the coordinates to Raditz, but Raditz won't really think about it at that point in time, because the news of the planet is going to shock him. Raditz will just forget at that point in the time, but he will remember. I got to give Goku some time, remember. So Raditz won't show up for a while. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so Bardock is dead, planet Vegeta is gone, and Kakarot is still on planet Krypton. And his Saiyan side is the only side that is that's growing right now. Well, Kakarot is, well, oh my god, his power is rising, because even as a newborn, his power is a lot. But sadly, I got to get rid of both races, so planet Krypton's destruction is imminent, sadly, because one of Frieza's men had actually found the planet. Even though the Kryptonians fought back and drove them off, the princess knew they would be back. So immediately, even though this upset her, she had gave Kakarot the best scouter she could find, and the quickest space pod that they could find as well. Even though space travel for the Kryptonians are illegal, she immediately sent Kal away. So that way he remembered his father, and that way he could remember his mother. And this is when Kakarot was sent away. But he's still a few months old, so he may not remember. So he's going to remember this, but it'll be like later in his mind. So yeah, thankfully Kakarot was already out of the out of that galaxy. So when Frieza's men did show up, and Frieza himself did, to destroy the Kryptonians, that sadly they died in this one. I know, Frieza destroyed 2 races. So Kakarot was already long gone before this happened, though. Yeah, and I mean long gone. So, and this is where things are going to change now, because as Kakarot is flying through space, oh yeah, hold on. This is what Kakarot is wearing. He's not wearing the traditional Saiyan armor. He's wearing a mixture of both Saiyan and Kryptonian armor. Boop! And here it is. Oh yeah, Kakarot looks are very different, actually. Because even though he has hair like a Saiyan, his tail is, well, actually black. He has a black tail. He's a mutated Saiyan, so I'm going to give him this. So yeah, Kakarot's looks are very different. So it's a mixture between both the Saiyans and the Kryptonian type of armor. And it's a lot more durable as well. Because even though the Kryptonians don't know it, their power depends on sunlight. So this can actually handle super heat and all that. So yeah, this is what Kakarot is wearing. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so as Kakarot is flying through space, he is flying past multiple stars and all of that. And this is empowering him this is like empowering him. Sometimes it's by a yellow star and he gets stronger. Sometimes it's by a blue star and his power shoots way up. And sometimes it's a red star and his power does go back down. But if you've seen What If a Saiyan and a Kryptonian Had a Baby, that's not going to bother Goku for much longer. And think about it. They're on the other side of a galaxy, so Kryptonite doesn't even exist for this Earth right here. So Kakarot in this sense, or Goku, is going to be extremely OP. Like, very, 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 very OP. So you'll see. Anyway, moving on with this sense, Kakarot still goes and lands on planet Earth with this space pod. Grandpa Gohan still finds him, and he still names him Goku, and the story can begin. All right. So how is this gonna go? Well, obviously off rip. When Grandpa Gohan finds baby Goku with the tail and everything, when Goku grabs Grandpa Gohan's finger, he legit dislocates his finger off rip. Like, whoa. Yeah, that's the thing. Goku instantly dislocates Grandpa Gohan's finger. Grandpa Gohan is shocked at the strength of this child, because infant, what is this? So immediately as things would happen, Goku growing up would pretty much be invincible. He would always be attracted to the outside. Well, he was an outside kid. But the thing is, Grandpa Gohan would have to train him off rip, because Goku has to learn to hold back his strength. And since he has the potential of Frieza and the ever-adapting power of Broly, this is going to get out of hand very quickly. Even though Goku doing some light training, very, very light training, because he's barely 5 years old or something, maybe 2 or 3, He's evolving and learning. He's learning as he fights, even faster, just like Super Broly. But just like Z Broly, his power climbs even higher and higher. But it's his potential is just exploding because of Frieza. Like, Goku is so strong, Grandpa Gohan has to be serious every dang time they spar and fight. And Goku coming up with moves on his own and learning how to fight. And even for a bit, Gohan would teach Goku the Kamehameha because, Gohan would know this. Goku seeing it already because of his high potential and him already having key abilities, he would actually be able to perform this very easily. Alright, anyway. Now for Goku's 5th birthday, Grandpa Gohan would finally tell him the truth about who and what he is. As he takes Goku, because of the Saiyan space pod, well, this Kryptonian space pod that they have. I'm going to call this Saiytonian Goku. Yeah, Saiytonian Goku Part 1. This is a good story. Goku gets back, and Grandpa Gohan shows him the Scouter. And the Scouter is extremely high-tech and very durable, so it would take a lot for it to break it or explode. Thankfully, it has all the Saiyan information and the Kryptonian information. Kryptonians kind of hacked Bardock's Scouter, and they got a lot of info from it. So anyway, Goku would see his mother, would hear his father's message first, and would also see his mother and see Frieza and everything else. So this would be insane. Oh yeah. Also, if you want to know Goku's Kryptonian abilities, I'm giving him a mixture of comp Superman. So tactile telekinesis, obviously the freeze breath, ice, laser beams, Kryptonian magic. I'm giving him pretty much everything because I don't really care enough to not do that. So it's gonna be Goku's gonna be extremely OP. Well, he already is OP off rip right now, but he just doesn't know it yet. So it's very, very crazy upon how this works, on how it happens. So Goku, upon realizing his Saiyan name is Kakarot and his Kryptonian name is Kal, but he still goes by Goku because still being raised by Grandpa Gohan. This is still a thing here. And Goku, okay, Grandpa Gohan would tell Goku, show him the Dragon Ball he has, but he would tell Goku that he has to train and get stronger. And Goku would. So he would always be training outside no matter what happened. Now, okay. So sadly, at the age of 6 is when Goku would transform into a Grade A, and because of his high power, he would accidentally kill Grandpa Gohan. He wouldn't be able to control the Grade 8 because he never did it before. Well, he did it once, but Grandpa Gohan was able to stop it because their tail is their weak point. So he's able to stop it, and thankfully, Goku didn't notice his tail. Well, he was able to stop it, but when Goku went back to his base form the next morning, his tail came back immediately, and that's because of the Kryptonian healing, and because of Saiyan S cells. Even though Goku wouldn't need a tail, he still got it. And because of his Kryptonian abilities, his higher regeneration and higher power, it came back by the next morning. So Goku didn't even notice he didn't have his tail. But the thing is, his tail came back even stronger. But here we go with this thing. Goku would immediately, Grandpa Gohan would tell Goku to train his tail because his tail is his weak point. So off rip, this would be a thing. That, the Goku would immediately start training his tail by squeezing it and by putting pressure on it. But this would be before Grandpa Gohan dies as well. So thankfully, Goku would already have his tail fully trained. So even if you grab it, it won't weaken him at all. Sadly, Goku doesn't know red solar radiation is his weakness yet. But we're going to find that out later on in the story. Okay, so Goku turns into a Great Ape again, but this time he accidentally ends up killing Grandpa Gohan. Because he had his Saiytonian clothes on, they grew with him so he isn't naked. But Grandpa Gohan still died, sadly. And, oh lord, because of this, I gotta do it. I have to do it here. Goku ends up finding Grandpa Gohan's body, even though he ended up crushing it and every. Well, wait, no. Yeah, he still finds his body, and Grandpa Gohan is still barely clinging to life. He held on for a long time because he was able to distract and dodge and evade until the sun came up. So, okay. Sadly, things here would still go the same, and Grandpa Gohan in his dying words would tell Goku it's not his fault, and to grow strong enough to revive, well, his race and his people, the Saiyans and the Kryptonians, and grow up, and to make sure to grow and protect people, and to be the savior, the hope of the world. Wait, no. Uh, yeah, be the symbol of the hope, be the symbol of hope, and the savior and slash hope of the universe. No, the multiverse. As then as then Grandpa Gohan dies. Goku being saddened does bury him, but this is when Goku would dive into his training. So he knows that he has to control his Great Ape form. So now knowing that the monster was him, Goku begins meditating and trying to calm like the inner Saiyan rage that he has. He needs both his Kryptonian and Saiyan side to work together as one, not be fighting for control over one or the other. He needs them to fully immerse themselves. And this is what he would be doing for years, I mind you, for years. So, thankfully, because of Goku's peaceful Kryptonian side, he does get the hang of being a great ape. Like, he takes off the scouter, and thankfully, the next time he transforms, now Goku knowing it's him, he tries to hold on to that memory of Grandpa Gohan, and he tries not to rampage. Even though the rage and the wild nature is unbearable, especially being a legendary Super Saiyan, it's a lot harder for him. He resists raging, well, crashing out, and he sits down and tries to meditate to keep his mind together for Grandpa Gohan, as he remembers all the good times and the memories of he's the last hope of the Saiyan and slash Kryptonian race. He needs hope of the symbol of hope and the savior of the universe. No, the multiverse. So this is what happens for a few years until, 6 years later, and when Bulma finally shows up trying to get the Dragon Ball. Now, Goku still, catches the fish and everything, but when Bulma runs into him, oh yeah, because Goku is absorbing sunlight, he's still getting rapidly stronger, but even though he's not training or doing anything. But even growing up in the woods, even doing mini trainings like surviving, Goku is still growing stronger. Oh boy, he's gonna have to learn how to suppress his power, but thankfully he will. Thankfully he will. Oh yeah, because Goku knows where he's from, he knows how to use ki and can already fly. He can also already use some of his Kryptonian abilities, like he can use laser eyes right now. Well, and upon realizing he also has he realized that he has some Kryptonian abilities. I'm gonna make this adventure really, really nice and cool, guys, because I like this a lot. So Goku discovered some of his Kryptonian abilities. His laser eyes, laser eyes was an accident because he got mad at I'm gonna say one of the fish for getting away. And he caught a fish and it was raining one day, so he won't be able to build a fire to roast it. Until he concentrated on the fish, and that's when Goku started to feel like power and energy, start to gather in his eyes. And Goku didn't realize what he was doing at first, but then he went to practice this by looking at the water, and he did it again by focusing really, really hard, and then lasers came out of his eyes as he blasted it into the water, and this was, Goku's heat vision for the first time. And then he used his heat vision on the fish, and thankfully for the first time, he actually cooked it really nicely. He was happy and started to, eat. And, Goku, because of training, this led him to train his laser eyes very early on. Because this means he could cook his food without having to waste it on a fire. He could just cook it with his eyes. So yeah, laser eyes, he has that under control, thankfully. But also, his freeze breath was an accident. I'm going to say this was when a bug was bothering Goku and it landed on his nose. You see where I'm going with this? The classic cartoon thing? Goku ended up sneezing and he froze like a tree by accident. And okay, imagine this as my adventures with Superman. I don't want him just blowing cold air on you. I want it to actually look aesthetically cool. So Goku tried to do it again by concentrating on the cold air that he blows. And well, thankfully the this makes like, icicles, an icicle like pattern form around Goku's mouth and face as his eyes glow blue instead. And when he opens his mouth, there's like a ring of frost around it, as instantly when Goku screams, a giant beam of frost, well, what looks like to be like blue fire mixed with a beam of frost, shoots at a tree, and instantly he freezes like, well, half of Mount Paozu. Ah, shit. So yeah, he's got to be really careful now. So by training these abilities for 6 years, he's gotten used to them. And then he still has the sonic voice, the mega claps. He has pretty much everything base Superman does. But remember, I'm giving Goku everything, like New 52 Superman, so he can do the solar flares, he can do the telekinesis, the magic, he can do all of that. He's special in a way. Being a hybrid, this gives Kakarot a lot more stuff. So Goku here, running into Bulma, when she hits him with the car, I mean, the fish doesn't even fly out of his hand. He doesn't even feel it. He still has the power pole and everything, though. So when Bulma runs into him, and Goku's kind of knows about people, but not really. He's just interested in Bulma. He kind of turned his head like a confused dog. Like, huh? As, a car and everything. And when Bulma got up and tried shooting him with a gun, those bullets don't do a damn thing. She shoots him and he just stands there confused. Like, what are you doing? Goku doesn't even registers it as an attack. He doesn't even know it's a weapon. And Bulma's confused, like, you shouldn't even be alive right now. But then Goku's like, oh, you were trying to fight me? Okay, then. So he pulls the power pole and he's about to slam it on Bulma, which would instantly kill her if he did. And because Goku doesn't know how to hold back his strength. So Bulma surrenders immediately and says she's a human being. Like, wait, really? And so, yeah, this is when Bulma would introduce herself to Goku and all that. Bulma would go to Goku's house and see the Dragon Ball. And Bulma would want to take the Dragon Ball, but Goku would instantly snatch it. He's fast, by the way. Sorry, guys, I need a drink of water. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Now, there we go. Just sorry, guys, I had to take a second. So Bulma would want the Dragon Ball, and Goku wouldn't be willing to give it up. But telling Goku about the Dragon Balls, Goku would ask what would she even wish for? And this would be the thing here. Well, Bulma would say she's going to wish for the perfect boyfriend. What? Goku would make points about this because he's actually really smart. Remember, he never hit his head here. So he does remember his parents in a little bit. So Goku would bring up a really good point. If you wish for the perfect girlfriend, well, what's a guarantee he might like you back? Because if he's perfect, he might not be interested in personality, money, anything else. And, he still might not even like you. Like, crap, Bulma still thinking she didn't think this through enough. But she still offers Goku to come with her on this journey. And Goku said, yeah, sure. He's been wanting to explore the world for a while now. So instantly, things would happen here. Okay. So, Goku... Oh, this will be a funny thing, though. Goku, upon realizing what are they going to do, Bulma would say she needs to probably get to a repair shop because, well... She should probably get back home because her car is destroyed. Goku says he's got it. Like, how? And Goku's interested about the capsules and everything because that's what Bulma does. As she puts it back in a capsule. Bulma explains how the capsule works. And Goku's intrigued. She must be really smart. And Bulma being puffing out her chest, being all confident and smug and everything, saying yes, she is. But anyway, because Goku is 12 and he's half Kryptonian, he actually does grow like a regular person. But it is going to take... He does grow like a regular human. So Goku does match a 12-year-old size. Thankfully, his Kryptonian side allows him to grow. But he's going to be really, really tall because of this. Because he's already growing. And his Saiyan side isn't allowing him to grow all the way. Hasn't reached his full size yet. Because he's from a warrior race. Here we go. So Goku would tell Bulma to get on his back as he would start flying. And say, like, wait, what? And this would be an impressive thing. Bulma, like, how are you flying? Oh, it's my natural power. I'm using ki mixed with my natural energy. Wait, what? I'll tell you about it at a different time. And Goku would say, where is our home? And Bulma would point in a direction as Goku would just start flying off. I know what you guys might be saying, but wait, aren't they going to run into? Yes, they're still going to run into the same characters, all that. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. They're just going back to Bulma's house so that she can, grab whatever she needs to grab. So Goku finally landing and in West City at Capsule Corp. I'm bringing Goku here extra early. Extra early. So Bulma would be at her home right now, even though she just left I'm going to say about a week or a month ago. And this here would be quite nice and simple because Goku ends up meeting Bulma's parents earlier on. And he would meet Dr. Briefs. And Dr. Briefs would be interested in how is Goku a regular human who has a tail? Goku would say he's not human at all. He's an alien. Wait, what? Bulma would be interested in now, and so would Dr. Briefs. Like, how? Goku would say, oh yeah, I forgot. He's from a different planet. He's a hybrid of two species, Saiyans and Kryptonians. What? Goku would say, be right back. He's going to go get something. As he drops Bulma off on the front door, and instantly he takes off again. But because Superman is fast. He can be really fast. He can be like the Flash levels of quick if he wanted to be. But he's matching everyone else for the narrative. But this isn't that here. Goku has the no limits of the Saiyan race mixed with the zero limiters of the Kryptonians. So I'm not making Goku slow for the sake of the narrative. No. Or as fast as he needs to be. Nah. He just didn't want to hurt Bulma because, even though he has a scouter, he can sense her power level a little bit. And knowing going full speed would instantly kill her, he didn't go full speed. But Goku took off instantly, and mixing that with Saiyan abilities to boost your flight, yeah, he's instantly back in the next 10 seconds with his space pod and everything. And his scouter. So, wow, a few hours? Nah, I'm gonna say they spent days. They spent a few days, they spent a few days investigating Goku and his natural biology. Interesting. Even though he's a Kryptonian, his skin is unable to be penetrated by anything because of his natural defenses. Goku has to literally lower his power on purpose. He has to lower his natural defenses, and even then, they're barely able to prick him because thankfully, Goku's been under the sun for even though it's been a few years, and his natural Saiyan defenses does keep it up a bit, Goku is forcefully lowering his natural defenses in order to allow his skin to be pricked and studied. So Dr. Brief and Bulma are studying Goku to all hell. It is ridiculous how he's doing this. So things are incredibly different here. Incredibly, incredibly different. And Dr. Briefs is amazed at this, seeing that Goku, all this access different technology, they can make scouters of their own in different spaceships. Even though Earth is not as advanced as the Kryptonians are, still, with all this information, they could jumpstart a new thing in Capsule Corp. They would be the richest on the planet. And, Dr. Briefs would ask Goku, for permission for this, and Goku would just say yes. Obviously, give Goku half the profits and all that. So Goku's going to be, slightly going to be rich when he gets older. Nice. And they also find gravity training right off the bat. Even though Dr. Brief said this would take a while for him to build, but they should still go on their adventure. And Bulma forgot about the whole adventure because Goku's an alien and everything. Right. So they go back on their adventure. Goku flies back to Mount Paozu because because he wanted one last fish. He wanted to say goodbye to his grandpa Gohan's place. So yeah, Bulma's car got fixed up and everything because, easy, the Capsule Corp bots and Bulma herself doing it. So now they're actually in the car and driving back. Okay, what's the first place they meet? Oh yeah, Oolong. So thankfully, even though a few days have passed, the villagers kept hiding from Oolong, and this time he got fed up and annoyed. So he's coming after Pokawatha. So this is going to be extremely, extremely fun here. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. Wait, would that be right? No, it would. They meet the turtle. They meet Master Roshi and the turtle first, then Oolong. It's kind of difficult how things would go. Wait, I'm struggling because I haven't watched the original Dragon Ball in a bit. What? How would this go? Okay, but you know what? Nah. It's the turtle, then Oolong. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, my bad, guys. So upon driving, they go down into the desert. Bulma wants to learn how to fly and use her techniques as well, just like it. So Goku would begin teaching her because, well, once Bulma got her mind on something, she's not going to quit it. So Goku would begin to teach her all about what ki is and how to use it. He's part of a warrior race, so he can use it quite easily. But for Bulma, because she's not a fighter or anything, it would be a lot harder. So Goku would begin teaching the basics, but Bulma could barely grasp it. But you guys might be saying, but Videl got it in a few weeks. Videl is a natural-born fighter. She's actually, wants to fight, and she's a martial artist. So I think she would be able to get it a lot more naturally. But Bulma, who's never been fighting in her life, would be a lot harder for her to do. So it would be kind of rough. So for the first few days, Goku been trying to teach her, Bulma would barely grasp it. He would grab Bulma's hands and share his energy with her so she can get a feel for it. But he would teach her about meditating and ki sensing first, how to sense ki and how to, sense power. And so Bulma would get the hang of that very easily. She's a genius. I feel like she would do off of Goku's basics and kind of develop her own instinct for it. And she kind of does very quickly. But to actually use ki in a way, to use it like for flight and ki blast, because she's not a fighter, it would be a lot harder. So it's a bit more difficult. Dang it. Sorry about that. It's a bit more difficult, but I'd say she would start to learn the basics. I'm going to say she pulls a Videl and gets a breakthrough. She's able to summon her own ki. Even though it's very small, she can summon it. So yeah, that's a very cool moment about this. And Bulma's ki is actually, I'm trying to... And Bulma's ki is actually very unique in a way. Because even though it's very weak, it's actually, she actually knows how to... Why am I struggling? Why am I struggling to tell the story? I'm so sorry for my stuttering. Bulma's ki is unique. Her ki is actually a natural blue cyan color, a bluish green, kind of like her hair. It's like a bluish green. Early Dragon Ball, it's a bluish green. It was a mixture of a lot of things. So I'm going to say that's what Bulma's ki looks like. Because now, finally, she's got it. So, phew! But she still doesn't know how to fly. Just summoning your ki forth is a big breakthrough. Now he has to teach her how to use it all around her body to get it to help her float. So that's going to be a strange thing. But while that's going on, they actually end up meeting a turtle. So they would end up taking this turtle, and because of Bulma, she's naturally a lot nicer because of the wish. She ends up, helping the turtle out because of her own will and not being rude. So they take the turtle back to the shore, giving him some seaweed and seawater, and the turtle says, wait here for their reward. So they're going to go now. He comes back with Master Roshi, and Roshi, who tries to give him the magic carpet, but, at the dry cleaners, and instead actually gives them the flying Nimbus. Nice. So Master Roshi says, if you're not pure of heart, you can't ride on it. He tries to sit on it, but nope, he can't. Bulma tries to sit on it, and instantly, she actually is somewhat able to stay on it for a little bit. Like, she falls through it slower and slower and slower. But she still plants her butt on the dang ground. Not as rough as Roshi did, but hey, she still did for a hot minute. She was able to sit for a minute, but then Goku steps on it, and he's able to ride it fully. But he says he doesn't really need the flying Nimbus because he can fly naturally. Wait, really? And he does. And Roshi can sense that Goku's using ki, but also something else. He is using his ki, but he's not using as much of it as a natural-born, ki fighter would use. Goku's not using that much. So this means Goku's able to conserve his energy a lot more, because Kryptonians can fly naturally. So Goku can just train his ki in something else, in fighting. But he still uses it to boost his flight. Kind of how, like, their white aura is around them whenever they start flying. So that's what Goku uses his ki for whenever he needs it. So that's why the ki is around him, but it's very, very little to no, if at all. But hey, there you guys go. So finally, Master Roshi does give up the Dragon Ball for trying to see Bulma's you-know-what. Bulma calls Master Roshi a PDF file because she's like only 16. Uh-oh. So Roshi ends up giving her the Dragon Ball, and now they head off to the next village. It's a pretty cool thing where they meet the village, and where they try to come out, an old man, as Goku knocks on the door, a man opens the door and tries to hit him with an axe. But it breaks on contact with Goku's head. It doesn't even give him a bump. He just looks confused about why they did that. Oh boy. So with this being said here, their plan to capture Oolong still goes in hand. But since I want to make this more interesting for you guys, when the plan to capture Oolong still does come like usual, Goku tries to beat him up and everything, and Oolong tries to escape. And it's clear that he can shapeshift. And Goku is very much interested now. Like, now he's chasing Oolong with a lot, and Goku can easily catch up with him. As Bulma is saying, Goku, make sure he doesn't escape. I want to learn that shape-shifting too. And Goku says he wants to learn it as well. So Oolong is not escaping Goku, because Goku blitzes right in front of him, and Oolong crashes right into Goku and captures him. They make him apologize to the villagers and take them back to their daughters, and that's a good thing. And as Oolong is about to run away, they want to learn how to shapeshift. And Oolong says he went to a shapeshifting school or whatever. Well, you better start teaching the basics. A few days later. Like, look, Goku, I'm a bird. Bulma actually starts flying all over the place. Oolong taught them how to shapeshift. And you guys might be saying, isn't that a bit of magic? How the heck did they do that? Just follow the narrative. It makes the story a lot easier. Thankfully, with them being able to fly, Bulma says, I guess I don't need that much more ki training anymore because I already know how to fly, huh? Goku just looks at her with a look, and Bulma knows she's not getting out of it. Let's just do this already. Goku learning how to shapeshift too is a very incredible thing. I feel because, I'm kind of playing off the more Sun Wukong narrative as well. I'm trying to just give all of it. Son Goku, Sun Wukong. He's a Saiyan with a monkey boy with a tail, and he's half Kryptonian. I don't really care. I'm doing this as much as I want. We're going with it. So Goku's ki training is going a lot more than usual because they spent a few more days learning how to shapeshift, and Bulma trying to learn to train her ki. This is Goku learning more things about himself, using like his telekinesis now. Because the red energy, he learns how to manipulate stuff. And Bulma would say she wants to learn how to use that stuff too. But Goku says that's just part of his Kryptonian side, not his Saiyan ki abilities. But maybe she could. Just maybe, but he's just not sure. We're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, continuing on. After some light sparring and training with Goku, Oolong comes along with them on their journey. Because now, when they start going into the desert, they start going into the Goku, Oolong, and Bulma start going traveling into the desert together. And when that does happen, they meet Yamcha like in the original. Oh boy. Yeah, when Yamcha, the bandit tries to steal all of their things, like hand over all of your capsules and your money, Goku just no, we're not doing that. As Yamcha steps forward with a sword, you sure you want to challenge me, kid? Goku instantly disappears and punches Yamcha in the gut, sending Yamcha flying back. Oh boy. And Puar's shape-shifting as well, but upon seeing Oolong, Puar and Oolong start arguing. Because even though they can shapeshift, they still have Oolong's time limit of 5 minutes. Yeah, they still got the Oolong's time limit of 5 minutes. So Puar starts teaching them next, and instantly, there you go, that time limit is removed. But Puar has a problem that he, she. I have no idea what gender Poir is. I'm just gonna say she. Poir, she has her limit of only being her face is always mixed up. Can never change. But that doesn't really matter because now Goku and Bulma can shape for as long as they want without a time limit. Nice. So, oh boy. That's the funniest thing about it. Oops. Can't let you guys see the secrets. Alright. Anyway, that's the gist about that. So they're able to get away from Yamcha, like, very easily. Because Yamcha does try to fight Goku again with Wolf Fang Fist, but that does nothing. Goku's able to just block... Nah, Goku just tanks it. Like, what? And then he just backhands Yamcha away again. So, hey, that happens. So, finally, they end up going somewhere else. And, I wonder, where else would they escape to? I'm trying to think. Okay, after Yamcha... Because Yamcha does end up chasing them one way or another. Okay, so it's all together. Okay, they're still looking for the Dragon... Whoops. They're still looking for the Dragon Balls and everything. So I'm going to just say that journey pretty much ends up continuing on the same. Because the Pilaf gang try to capture them. Goku just breaks out in... Oh, wait, yeah. This is when they meet the Ox King. And once they do, you know, the Ox King comes out thinking they're trying to steal his treasure. And instantly... Shut up. Well, when he tries to fight, Goku just breaks the axe that he has by punching through it and punching Ox King in the gut, sending him like falling back. And Ox King apologizes, saying that like he was just trying to protect his daughter, Chi-Chi, but she's been gone for a few days. Goku just goes out and finds her and rescues her. Ox King says Goku can marry Chi-Chi if he wants, but Goku doesn't know what that is. He doesn't even answer, so he just turns around. And they get back to the task at hand, his castle. So what happens here is actually very, very cool. Because they don't need Master Roshi this time, but Goku has freeze breath. So Goku jumps in the air over the castle, and he takes in a big breath. And he focuses his frost breath, and instantly a giant, what looks to be blue cyan-like icy fire goes over like the castle and completely puts out the flames. So Ox King Castle that's on fire, it's completely saved. It's not destroyed in this one. So thankfully they get the Dragon Ball easily. So now they all fly off. They all go off again. But instead, Chi-Chi wants to join them on their journey. Like, wait, really? Ox King allows it because knowing Goku's so strong, it's actually very simple thing that they want him to do. So he ends up agreeing to it. All right, keep my Chi-Chi safe. Of course. So they end up flying off to the Pilaf gang and they get captured by him. Goku still does... they still knock... okay, when Bulma gets captured this time, Goku is smart and jumps onto the claw that takes Bulma. And easily, when Goku is there, he blasts the Pilaf gang away out and sends them flying like Team Rocket. And finally, they have all the Dragon Balls. So what are they going to wish for? And Bulma doesn't really know what to wish for. But instead, she comes out and says something. Great Dragon, come on out and grant my wish. The Dragon Balls glow, and Shenron appears. And he says, I shall grant you any one wish. And Goku's looking at the others, daring them to steal the wish, because he will get pummeled for it. And Yamcha, and Oolong, and Chi-Chi, they have no wish right now. Bulma says she wishes to be like Goku. And Shenron instantly grants this wish. And with that being said, Bulma is now a Saiyan. Bulma, wishing she was more like Goku, transformed her into a Saiyan Kryptonian hybrid as well. Oh shit. So Bulma becoming a Saiyan, she feels incredible pain like up in her backside, and instantly she sees that she has a blue tail, just like her hair. Holy crap, this made her exactly like Goku. I guess she kind of worded that wrong. But now Bulma feels this incredible surge of power, because she's a Saiyan and a Kryptonian. Uh-oh. Bulma doesn't know how to control the great ape form, but Goku in this sense does. So the great ape is not needed, but Goku still does transform into the great ape to get training done. But he tells Bulma not to look. But accidentally she does look and she becomes a great ape. And she's not controlled, but thankfully Goku is. So he ends up beating up Bulma and stopping her. So when Bulma wakes up, her clothes are torn and everything. So instantly she needs a new change of clothes. Thankfully she has a capsule for all that stuff, so she's fine. Great. And then they say, how has Goku now lost his clothes? And Goku explains how his Saiytonian armor works. It grows with him, a one-size-fits-all. Bulma says, why didn't you say so? We need to head back to Capsule Corp. And once everyone goes their separate ways now. Because now they're going to go to... Goku says he's going to go to Master Roshi's to train. Because, Master Roshi still offers to train him. Even though it wasn't at, the Fiery Mountain, he did it with the turtle. Even though I didn't say it, I'm going to just say Master Roshi offered to train Goku. Because his power was just so great. Everyone goes their separate ways from here. So that's how that ends up going. Okay, give me 1 sec to think. Okay, I got it. Okay, but before Goku goes to Master Roshi to train, he ends up going back to Capsule Corp with Bulma. And you know what? Chi-Chi follows as well. Because she's going to need someplace to stay and she doesn't want to go back to her father just yet. Wait, no. They do end up going back to the Ox King to tell them that Chi-Chi's going to Capsule Corp with them. Keep her safe and all that? Of course. And then they fly off. So that's how that stuff ends up going. And going back to Capsule Corp, they end up running more experiments on Goku's clothing. Seeing the material it's made out of, all of that. And they start, reconstructing. Well, not reconstructing. They start reinventing it. Trying to make it better and more elastic and everything. Now it's a lot better. Now, if the clothes get torn up or has holes in them, they use specific fibers, and they patch themselves up. And Bulma creates armor for herself as well. And Chi-Chi's kind of upset because she wants to be a Saiyan like them. And Goku's growth spurt is still going on because he's still growing taller. Chi-Chi wishes she could become a Saiyan. And she says, you know what? The next time she's going to become a Saiyan like them. But Bulma doesn't know how to control her powers. And Goku says he doesn't have a full grasp upon them either. So that's going to be something else they're going to have to worry about. But later. So anyway, now Bulma, Chi-Chi, and Goku all end up going to Master Roshi's for training. Because Bulma needs to learn how to get a grip on her new power this time. Even though her ki abilities are way more enhanced, she needs to learn how to use it now. This is going to be fun. So they all end up meeting Master Roshi. Of course, finally Krillin arrives there. And since they're all going to be... First, Master Roshi tells them to find a good girl. They end up finding Launch. So, there you go. That's still the same. But first, okay guys, there's something I need to introduce here in a second. Alright, ready for it? Not only does Krillin arrive, but 2 more people arrive. And they look like Goku, except a lot smaller. Well, Goku and Bulma, but a lot smaller. Who are these 2 people? Are they Saiyans as well? Yes, they are. I told you. The high power level was over here. They have scouters and everything. What the? Hey, you 2 are Saiyans like us, aren't you? Yeah. Never seen one with a blue tail before. Sis, I don't know about this. It's not a bother. We can take them. No, you cannot. Maybe Bulma, but definitely not Goku. Goku just says, who are you? You kind of look like me. Of course we're like you. We're Saiyans, you moron. Wait, for real? Yeah. Your name's Kakarot, right? Well, yeah, my Saiyan's name's Kakarot. Of course. I'm Kale. And this is... Well, wait, no. I'm Caulifla. And this is Kale. Wait, what? How? This is Universe 7, not Universe 6. Well, it's a combined universe, actually. Wait, what? How did that go about? What if Universe 6 and Saiyan merge? Looked up Salad Saiyan, you'll see how. Basically, Beerus and Champa ended up fighting again, and this time the 2 universes ended up merging because it almost destroyed the 6 and 7 universe. But because they're twin universes, they ended up merging. And because of this, there was two of each planet, two Planet Vegetas, Planet Sadala and Planet Vegeta. The two Saiyan races were close enough that they ended up being neighboring each other. So, yeah, Goku is much more special than you think. He has Universe 6 Sadalan Saiyan potential, so his S cells are way higher. The descendant of Yamoshi, the Super Saiyan, first Super Saiyan God, aka Super Saiyan, and he's the legendary Super Saiyan. Goku is way too broken and overpowered, and he's also half Kryptonian. So, oh yeah, just if you guys don't think so, Kale and Caulifla have tails too. And I know what some of you guys might say, but Universe 6 Saiyans don't have tails. Yeah, well, maybe not. Well, maybe not, but who cares? Oh, you guys might be saying, is Kaba here too? You know what? Yeah, screw it. Kaba is there as well. God damn it. There we go. So, Kale, Caulifla, and Kaba all show up and they found Goku. And they're all wearing Universe 6 Saiyan attire, so it's not that bad. Like, Goku wants to know why these guys here, and said they've been traveling the galaxy for a long time, and they finally found another Saiyan on this planet. Caulifla can tell Goku is incredibly strong just by sensing by using her scouter, but it reads up to Goku's power level. And keep in mind, it's been growing this whole time. It goes past like 500,000, and then it just stops working. It doesn't break, it just stops working. Like, eesh. Kale can see Goku strong as well, and so can Kaba. How does a Saiyan even get that strong? He must be stronger than even King Vegeta. But, Kale's part of a royal family as well, so it's not that bad. Kale is a Berserker Super Saiyan. Goku's the true legend. Okay. Goku, the true legendary Super Saiyan with, the lime green, lightning green hair. Broly with, the being a mutated Saiyan. And Kale being a Berserker Super Saiyan. You got all three legendary Saiyans here in this AU. This is going to be crazy. But I don't care. Continue. Caulifla says, what are they doing here? Goku says they're about to do some training. Training? Well, count me in. Kaba says he wants to train too. But you know what? So does Kale. Even though she's a Universe 6 Saiyan, she's had to fight a few times. So, hey, they all join in on this. And this is right after they found Launch. And Roshi had never had to train so many students before. But you know what? The more the merrier. Let's do it. Alright, so the training still goes as basic, but Goku can't really gain anything. Oh yeah, never mind. They finally invented a new thing called the gravity belt. So the gravity chamber doesn't exist yet, but the gravity belt does. A belt that increases their gravity. And because of Goku's Saiytonian pod, it can actually go up to a very high number right now, up to 100 times gravity. And Goku's been using this ever since. So he's getting used to high gravity right now. Oh boy. So, hey, all the Saiyans train it, and even even Krillin and Chi-Chi use it. Launch doesn't get involved in any of this stuff right here, but hey, it's kind of fun to watch it go down. Okay, but this is really cool. The Saiyans get used to training in high gravity right away. Goku personally trains Bulma himself, and because of her Kryptonian side abilities, it's kind of different. And Caulifla asks how can they do that strange abilities that no Saiyan can. Goku says he's a hybrid between a Saiyan and a Kryptonian. What's a Kryptonian? Goku kind of shows him the transmission of his mom, and that's pretty much all he has. He doesn't know what Kryptonians are. Alright, but then the next World Martial Arts Tournament. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it here. Goku wins. Jackie Chun can't even hurt Goku. Wait, you know what? Bulma signs up too. And Bulma ends up beating the natural Saiyans because the sunlight does give her power. But she doesn't know that. But Goku trying to train her how to use her Kryptonian abilities is kind of rough at first. But she slowly gets the hang of it. Goku's natural adaptability and fighting capabilities makes him an easy fighter. And easy to learn how to use this stuff. Bulma doesn't know how to use this stuff yet, so she has to train in an open field. Kind of like on the islands of where Master Roshi lives. So, hey, it's easier to train that way. But she doesn't use this stuff. Bulma and Goku make it to the final round, where Goku ends up winning because he's naturally just stronger. So hey, cool stuff happened. The Dragon Balls end up coming back though, and it's time for another adventure. Okay, here we go. And you know what? The other Saiyans are coming with this time. They're not going to be left behind. And so does Chi-Chi. She doesn't want to be left behind either. She finally wants to do this. And be just like the other Saiyans, because she says they're walking cheats with how they are. So they end up meeting. Oh, Jesus Christ, come on. They end up gathering the Dragon Balls again, and the Red Ribbon Army has it. So but before that, they climb Korin's tower and they get the training of the Ultra Divine Water, as it's just tap water. Crazy how that shit works. So yeah, a lot more people are here. Like a lot more people end up being here. So things work very differently. So how does stuff like this go down? In a bit. I'll discuss it more with you in a bit. Okay, so Ultra Divine Water, they come down, they meet Mercenary Tao, and because all the Saiyans are here, Tao cannot beat them all. I mean, Tao gets killed by Goku very quickly. Quick laser eyes, and Tao's done. They go back to the Red Ribbon Army because of the Sensu beans here. And because of that, whoop! The Red Ribbon Army gets destroyed by the Saiyan's power, like easily. But someone has to escape for another arc to happen. So Dr. Gero still ends up escaping. Sorry about that, guys. Still got to keep it going. And finally, they gather all the Dragon Balls again. But this time, not having another wish, Chi-Chi wants to use it to be like the Saiyans again. But Goku wants to use the wish. And he wishes for a book containing all of Saiyan and Kryptonian history, basically wanting to know what their abilities will be growing up and what they have to watch out for. And Shenron, thankfully, having the power to do this wish, gives them 2 books. One about ancient Saiyan history, their transformations and all of that, and the Kryptonians' history, more for Goku and Bulma's sake. And they read through the books that saying it was Frieza who destroyed planet Sadala and planet Vegeta. Great. And it was also Frieza who destroyed planet Krypton. But Shenron goes through their abilities of Super Saiyan. Well, first you gotta master the Great Ape, Ikari, Super Saiyan, the True Super Saiyan, and the Beyond Super Saiyan. True Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, Beyond Super Saiyan 3, Primal Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 4, True Primal Super Saiyan 5, and beyond, all of that. Whoa, that's crazy. Alright then. He's not gonna... Goku's saying his next goal is to go Super Saiyan. But he doesn't even know how. Well, he'll train for it. What Goku doesn't know is he could go Super Saiyan if he tried. But first, Ikari, using the Great Ape's power without transforming. Goku wants to see if he can do that, and crazy enough, he's able to pull it off right now. Because, well, he's already mastered Great Ape. It's the other Saiyans that they need to get used to doing it. So that's what they start training for. Because they've already used the wish. And the Kryptonian abilities, Laser Eyes, Frost Breath, Super Claps, sonic voices, tactile telekinesis, magic. They'll be able to do a lot more stuff. So this next year that they focus on is just learning how to control the Great Ape and gain the Ikari form, which for the natural born Saiyans is a lot harder. Well, just a bit. For Kale, it's a lot more difficult because she's more berserker and everything. But hey, Goku's there, he's able to teach her, and slowly they all do get to the Ikari form. Because Bulma, who lived with a human mind, she's able to get to produce it a lot quicker. But Super Saiyan is the problem. Because they kind of need a trigger for it. Wait, who am I kidding? Goten and Trunks could do it without it. So Goku could just feel it one day underneath his skin, a breakthrough. So he just pushes his power beyond anything. And instantly when it happens, boom! Kid Goku is a Super Saiyan. Obviously, no death of Krillin or anyone else right now because things are going fine. But Goku had gone Super Saiyan, but not just any Super Saiyan. He's He's his Kryptonian side is charged even more. Oh yeah, but since they read the book that that Kryptonians gain the power from sunlight, Goku is kind of an ascended Super Saiyan. You know what? No. He's the Great Sage Super Saiyan. Let me show you what that looks like. So yeah, Goku's Ascended Super Saiyan form. Looks cool, doesn't it? I'm going to show you another picture of it though. This is pretty nice. Yeah, this is a nice one, what it looks like up close. And last picture I'm going to show. There you guys go. Goku's ascended Super Saiyan form. Looks great all around, and everyone can't believe the power that's coming off of him. Goku, knowing that he absorbs sunlight now, oh boy, he's going to take full advantage of this. He even goes into space and find out he can breathe just fine. Sometimes Superman can breathe in space, sometimes he can't. I'm just going to say for the sake of the narrative, Kryptonians can breathe in space. I don't really care. So Goku goes to the sun and starts absorbing more and more sunlight. This is absolutely insane. His power just, dude, it grows without end. So Kale, Caulifla, Kaba, and even Bulma want to get this form for themselves. So they have to. So that's what their training consists of. Like Bulma, thinks she can get it a lot quicker than the others, but the other Universe 6 Saiyans are gonna have to try it there for the longest time to get it, because it's gonna be a while before they can get anything. But hey, it still does happen. Okay, what's next? All right. Finally, the next World Tournament does show up, and they all have been living at Capsule Corp for the longest time. And here we go. And here we go for this. I'm trying to think right now. I got it. Okay, so what ends up happening is the 22nd martial arts tournament happens, and Goku and Bulma make it to the finals again, even though everyone's significantly stronger with their gravity belts and all that. They all continue training. Nothing really matters that much, because you got godlike figures already here. So, okay, this is when King Piccolo was supposed to, strike. And he does, but Goku ends up winning the tournament again, but this time he does end up forgetting his Power Pole and the Dragon Ball, and this time Bulma is the one who wants to go, Krillin still decides to go get it back, but thankfully Krillin can fight off Tambourine for a second, so they all sense what's going on and they make it there. And for the sake of the plot, Tambourine is a bit stronger than Krillin and is about to kill him, but Goku kills him Tambourine beforehand. And now Goku goes around killing King Piccolo's children. Oh boy. So things are very, very, very different here. So Goku ends up meeting King Piccolo early, and instantly he tries, and he punches right through Piccolo's chest. He just blows a hole right through him. And Piccolo still spits out the egg to create, Piccolo Jr. And instantly Demon King Piccolo just dies. Stood no chance against Goku. Absolutely none. No, not even a flicker of a chance. Not even a flicker of a hope of a chance. Just dead instantly. And then Kami comes down trying to stop Goku. Goku, is starting to go a bit berserk here. His legendary form's starting to come out. Kami tells Goku to please wait as he explains everything. And then Goku does end up calming down, because his aura is starting to get a tad bit too wild. So he does end up calming down, and Kami offers to train them. And the other Saiyans, plus Bulma, wants to train as well. And Kami sadly has to end up accepting this because, it's all what they wanted to do. So thankfully they all go up there and begin training with Kami. Chi-Chi says she'll join them at a different time. She's going to go search for the Dragon Balls. Because, finally they stole King Piccolo's Dragon Balls, and Chi-Chi wished to become a Saiyan. Well, just like Goku, she wants to be just like Goku as well. And another Saiyan Kryptonian hybrid. Oh lord. So hey, this is pretty cool. So now all 3, 4, 5. You got 6 Saiyans all training up on Kami's lookout, and they're going to get insanely strong. But since Goku is already beyond any teachings or anything, they teach Goku, Bulma, and Chi-Chi how to suppress their power a bit, because they got to. Because, Goku's growth weight is way too insane. It's too explosive. So right now, Kami ends up sending Goku to, King Kai way earlier in the story. It takes a lot of convincing for King Yama, but Goku does end up going to King Kai. And that's where Goku resides for a year and a half, before coming back. And Goku's Kaioken can go up to a lot, because of his much more durable body. And even though the strain is going to take a lot, Goku just has to be under sunlight, and he can get healed, and he gets a Zenkai. So, yeah, it's a lot. So what Kaioken can Goku go up to right now? He's a child, but with a Saiyan Kryptonian, would have Kryptonian body and already being a Super Saiyan. Goku can already be like times 10, and he can even push it to times 20. But over the years, that number is going to grow more and more and more. This is only going to get even more insane. So, yeah. Finally, the 23rd martial arts tournament rolls around, and, I mean, obviously, Piccolo shows up, even though Goku and the rest of the Saiyans are heavily suppressed here. Heavily suppressed. Alright, let's get back to it real quick. Yeah, in this timeline, Goku kept his tail. There was no reason to get rid of it. So, hey, this is going to be a good thing. So, Goku joining the tournament, the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Everyone's really strong off of rip. Even Piccolo's Jr. is stronger because he stole one of the gravity belts. Oh boy, this is going to be ridiculous. But even though it does work, it doesn't matter. Like, because Piccolo can't even beat like one of the... Oh, because this time, the girls actually... Chi-Chi and Bulma actually don't join in on the tournament this time. They don't really want to. But they're just going to watch. So for the sake of the story, even though the Saiyans would easily be stronger than Piccolo, I'm gonna say they had to fight each other. Well, Kale had to end up fighting Goku in the end. She lost. Caulifla and Kaba fought, and Caulifla won that exchange. And then the next tournament bracket, Caulifla ended up fighting Goku. So yeah, all the Saiyans got eliminated pretty quickly early on. So then it ended up being Piccolo versus Goku, and it was pretty an easy watch here. Piccolo gets dog walked by Goku, and it's not even like funny. Goku still wears weighted clothing and the gravity belts on him, and it's because of it how far it's been advanced. It's up to 500 times gravity. Goku is severely handicapping himself, and Piccolo still can't keep up with him. Yeah, end of the story. Piccolo gets defeated, and it's not even funny. Get out of here, Piccolo. So Goku lets Piccolo live and says, "You are not your father. You're not all bad," and I can tell. Just put that sprinkle of doubt there. He lets Piccolo live, and the Dragon Ball story is over. But the thing is, Bulma says she can't wait it anymore. She's been looking for a boyfriend the whole time, and the perfect boyfriend's been right in front of her, as she admits to having feelings for Goku. But Chi-Chi admits that she's been wanting to marry Goku since they were kids. But they're not done yet, because Kale and Caulifla actually admit that they're interested in Goku as well. Oh shit, how is this going to work? Well, polyamory exists in Dragon Ball anyway. Even if it doesn't, I'm saying it does. So, don't care. Goku marries all four of them. Why? Because why the fuck not? So, there's going to be a lot of kids in this one. Well, yeah. Doop, 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 doop. Alright, I got it. I got the children names down. Alright, anyway, this was Saiytonian Goku Part 1. If you guys want a Part 2, give this video to 5 likes, and I'll be sure to make one for you. With that being said, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace, guys!